Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to remind you that your semester exam final review is worth 10 points. You should have gotten that on the 23rd. You'll have in class on the 24th and the 25th, and the 3-day weekend to get that correct or finished. Your finals will be on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. Now, in the first video, we looked at questions 1 through 10. In this video, we're going to watch questions 11 through 21. This symbol right here is supposed to be a multiplication symbol, but when we copied it, for some reason it came out weird. So you're going to think of this as outside times outside, inside times inside. So I have 3 times 6 on the outside. On the inside, I have 4 times 18. Now, I'm going to take 18 and break that down into 2 times 9. And then the 4 is going to go down into 2 and 2, and 9 will be 3 and 3. So on the outside, I have 3 times 6. Well, you know what? I'm not going to break it down any further. I've got a group of 2, so that 2 is going to come out. I've got a group of 3, so that 3 is going to come out, and I'm left with the square root of 2. And then I take 3 times 6 times 2 times 3. That's going to give me 108 square root of 2. Now, taking a look at number 12, the first thing I notice is that these radicals are not the same, which means I need to simplify them. So 32 is the same as 2 times 16, and 16 is 4 and 4. And 18 we just did, that's 2 and 9 is 3 and 3. So I've got a group of 4s, I can bring it out, so that means I have a 3 on the outside, and I'm bringing out a 4. So that becomes 12. I've got the square root of 2 left, plus I'm going to bring out a 3. 3 times 20 is 60, and I've got a square root of 2 left. Now all I have to do is add 12 and 16 to get 72 square root of 2, and we're done. Taking a look at number 3, 24 is going to be, number 3. Number 13, 24 will break down into 4 and 6. 4 is 2 and 2, and 6 is 2 and 3. 96 is going to break down into 6 and 16. 16 is 4 and 4, and 6 is 2 and 3. So I take a look at 24. I see that I can bring out a 2. 5 times 2 is 10. I've got the square root of 6 left over, which is 2 times 3. Here I've got a group of 4. 4 times 8 is going to be 32. And I've got the square root of 6 left. So now I'm just going to combine like terms. So 10 minus 32 is going to be a negative 22 square root of 6. And we're done. Taking a look at 14, outside times outside, inside times inside. So I'm going to say negative 6 times negative 4. And then underneath my radical, I'm going to have 14, which is 2 and 7, and 6, which is 2 and 3. I went ahead and broke it down this time because I can see that I get a pair of 2's that's going to come out. So I end up with negative 6 times negative 4 on the outside gives me 24. I bring out the pair of 2's, and on the inside I have 7 times 3. 24 times 2 is 48. 7 times 3 is 21. And so our answer is 48 square root of 21. Number 15 is the same process all over again. We just did outside times outside, inside times inside, and I'm breaking the 6 down so that it's 3 and 2. Take a look at it. I've got a pair of 3's. They're going to come out. So on the outside now I have negative 4 times negative 2 times 3, and on the inside I have square root of 2. When I multiply these numbers on the outside, I get 24 square root of 2. Now I want to slow down on 16 for just a minute because I had some students in my class struggle on this. If I have the square root, and I'm totally making this problem up, so just watch. If I have the square root of 10 and I square it, this equals 10. The reason why I know that is because the opposite of a square root is squaring it. So just like if I said 10, let me do it this way. If I say x times 10 divided by 10, those will divide out. They're opposites of each other. So multiplying and dividing are opposites of each other, and I'd end up with just x. So it's that same concept here. So if I had the square root of 3 and I squared it, then I just have 3 left over. So that's the concept. There's two ways that you can process that. The first one is you could stamp it out and say the square root of 9 times square root of 9 twice, which would be 9 times 9 underneath. You've got a group, bring it out, which gives you 9. That's the first way to look at it. Or the other way to look at it is to say, look, this and this cancel each other, so my answer is 9. It's really up to you on how you look at that one. Taking a look at number 17. Number 17 says that the area of a parallelogram is 108 x to the 8th y to the 5th square feet. The height of the parallelogram is here, and the area of the parallelogram can be used using this formula, finding this formula. Which of the following best represents the lengths of the parallelogram base? So I know that area equals base times height, and I'm just going to fill in what I know. I know that the area is 108 x squared, x to the 8th, y to the 5th, times the base is what I don't know, times the height, 12x squared, y to the 3rd. Now, there's a couple of ways to look at this. The first way to look at it is, what times 12 gives me 108? All right? That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is to say, you know what? I need to get this question mark by itself, or that's what I need to figure out. So I'm going to isolate this base, and I'm going to divide by 12x squared y cubed. Divide by 12x squared y cubed. Now when you do that, you find out that the base, now I'm replacing it with an actual b instead of a question mark, equals, what's 108 divided by 12? Well, I would use my calculator. 108 divided by 12 is 9. And then x to the 8th over x squared, that's going to be 8 minus 2, so that's x to the 6th. And 5 and 3 is going to be y squared. And so I know the base is 9x to the 6th, y to the squared. Taking a look at number 18. I'm going to distribute. So I have 20x squared minus 8x. Distribute the negative 7. Make sure you take the negative to all your terms. We have negative 7x squared minus 14x plus 35. Now all I'm going to do is combine like terms. So I'm going to take my x squareds and put them together. So 20 minus 7x squared gives me 13x squared. Negative 8x minus 14x is negative 22x plus 35. And we've simplified this polynomial. Remember, polynomial means more than 2. Oh, excuse me. All right. Now I'm going to distribute the 4 on number 19. I'm simplifying. Oh, let me do this all at one time. So 4 times x is 4x squared. 4 times negative 4x is negative 16x. And 4 times 6 is 24. I'm going to distribute the negative 2x. Negative 2 times x. Remember to take that negative with you, is negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times 5 is positive 10x. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I have a 4x squared and a minus 2x squared, which gives me 2x squared. I have negative 16x and 10x, which gives me negative 6x plus 24. Ooh, that's not supposed to have an x on it. Let me go back and rework this one. Let's see what mistake I made. Let's do it again. No, I did it right. Oh, the answers key is wrong. Yeah, I did it right. Okay, the answer key is wrong on that one, guys. Awesome. I always like it when I make it right. All right, taking a look at number 20. This is our last one. for this video. So I'm going to multiply. Now I notice that I have a binomial times a binomial. That's a 2 by 2, which means I'm going to set up my box. I tell my kids to write the first term on the top and the second term down the side. And then just like in biology, when you did your squares where you had t and t and t and t, this you multiplied across, it's the same concept, only we're using, I think those are called Punnett squares. We're using these terms. So 5x plus 4x is 20x squared. 4x times 1 is 4x. 5x times negative 3 is negative 15x. And 1 times negative 3 is negative 5. You're going to add on the diagonal. So we end up with 20x squared. Negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11x minus 3. And that gives us the end of problems 11 through 20. Now if you watch the next video, they'll keep working in groups of 10 all the way through the review. This review completed is worth 10 points on your final exam grade, and let's face it, you're going to need it, so you might as well just keep watching. All right, you guys do good.